Hello, good evening, folks. Yes, where are we? 9:05, a few minutes late. Today I am completely, time has caught up with me. And I am totally winging it tonight. So I just wanted you to know that potluck, colours of autumn, that's what I'm going to do today. I've got a few bits of scrap cards out. I've got some ink colours in some autumn colours, and I've got a few bits and pieces, and I'm going to make I'll try and make some chocolate wrappers for you. So let's get down onto the table. Hopefully somebody will come through and join us. I think we've got a stray cat around here somewhere. I don't know where she's gone. So let's get down and see where we are. We've got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one. There we go. Here we go. So I've got my sponge daubers out because I thought they might come in handy. So what have I got? I got out these ones here. These are all my scrap pots. I'm just going to stand them up for you. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, I'm not one to brag my own trumpet, blow my own trumpet, but it's nice to have those notes come through. So I didn't get out of the program to write it down. May not be able to stop for long. Never mind, Jeanette. It's always on replay. So these are some of my autumn shades I got out. These are scrap pieces, and I thought I could do something with those again. I'm thinking I'd like to texturize, so I want to do something on a background, and then I want to texturize it so we've got some detail on it. So we've got those over the side there. So I've got my sponge daubers as well if I need them, but I kind of got a few things out that I thought I really just didn't know what to play with. Playing in the Rain is one that we had before in the spring summer catalogue. Whoopsie daisy, get this out. So we had this before. Let me just see, I've got my glasses here somewhere. Playing in the Rain. Playing in the Rain, it's page 78. So page 78, where are we? This bundle down here. Now we have this section in the catalogue now that's called Encore. So at the top here we've got Encore. These are sets that have come back, either stamps with dies or stamps with a punch, and they were previously in the previous catalogue, either the annual catalogue last year or in the spring summer, and they had their 10% discount as being a bundle. When they carry forward, they no longer have that 10% bundle on, so you don't get that 10% discount. So need to just be mindful of that when catalogues change, when they're coming towards the end. If they ever carry forward, they will no longer have that 10%. So it's cheaper buying them while they're still current and having a saving. Now we have got Cheerful Daisies in here, but I did use that fairly recent, I think. But I was just showing you in here just some of the bundles that were there. There's some nice trees in here. Didn't get that set. But this was the Playing in the Rain one. So they're in there as separates, as individuals. Some really nice things in there. And I've got the Layering Leaves because we also have the punch that went with that one. So we've got that one there. Excuse me. I did just grab some water. Just that tickly throat. I haven't drunk enough water and tea today, I don't think. And then we've got this one, Country Flowers. Well, you could do autumny things with that as well. I was kind of thinking autumn, you've got showers, you've got playing in the puddles, you've got the umbrellas. So I thought this one, we used to do this one in a nice papers that we had with that. So I kind of just got a few pieces out that I thought might be interesting. If any of you got any preferences with that, then do tell. I'll come back to the congratulations at the end, and I'll touch on that later. So where I'm going first, decisions. I've also got some pecan pie there, that was already on the table. And I've got my white neutrals, and I've got my note cards, they're always available. So textures, what sort of textures would we do for autumn if we're putting autumn colours out? These ones here, I don't have all of them. I've got the Exposed Brick, which I love, that's this one here. I've got the ferns. Oh, the ferns might work nicely. Snowflakes, yeah, thoughtful moments. Yeah, I think it's going to be either the brick or the ferns. So we might grab those in a sec. I do like those exposed bricks. They just get used quite a lot, don't they? So on the next one, on Sunday, sorry, I think I'm going to do the shaving foam technique. So I'm going to write that down now on a scrap of paper so that I remember I've said, that's not a scrap, that's a piece of embossed. Oh dear, post-it notes. I do have post-it notes nearby. So I'm going to write down to do the shaving foam technique. I'm sure we haven't done it online. So let's just write that down. Shaving foam. Because that's a good one to do with autumn colours. Autumn colours. So there we've got our subjects. This is why if any of you have a request, it's always easier for me to have something to work to. So please do always suggest if something comes to mind and you think, oh, Sandra, can we do something like this? Please just send me a picture over and I will do my best for you. So I'm going to do some background, I think, first. I'm going to grab one of my note cards that are sitting opposite me over there. Just pull them through. There might be a bit of a landslide. Move those over. So we might even, considering I don't know what we're doing tonight yet, this is a true essence of the word wing it. I'm just going to crease these over. There's always occasions we can do cards for, and there are always occasions where we're just general ones where we're always going to need. So if I'm ever stuck, the thank you ones are always a good one to go for, or hello, something neutral that you can just put any little message inside. They're really nice. So, I mean, these ones would go nicely on toppers on the stitch nested dies, which I did have out earlier this afternoon. Be around the other side, but they are certainly around. So where am I going to go first? I'm going to do some backgrounds on these with some of those scrap strips. So we'll cut a panel to go. Oh, I've got lots of comments on there. Shaving foam is one of your favourite things. There you go, Marilyn. Right, for Jeanette asking me, do I have a catalogue of all the cards I've done? The best place to go for a catalogue, I'll write that on the post-it note as well. I'll put a note up about that. Catalogue. So the best place to go for a catalogue, my dear, is to the YouTube channel. So if I put a post up later for the YouTube channel, the last few aren't up to date. They just need me to do the thumbnails on the front. So if you normally, if you go to the thumbnail, I put a thumbnail on the top, and when you look at it, you will see that there's an image to the side, and it also says the subject as to what I did. So if it was a subject that interested you, then you can go and look at that one. Just click on the video and then you're there. It's literally all the videos are listed one after the other. So that's probably the easiest one. Actually, that shaving foam won't be Sunday because I've got something else for Sunday. That's so Sunday is going to be that one. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's a good one. So I'm just making these layers on here, 1/8 of an inch, like I did the other day, smaller than. I cut that one too long, didn't I? 3.5 by 5. I was on the 6-inch mark there, so 5 inches is there, so I just want that under 1/8 of an inch under. Okay, then we've got 2 layers there. So these are the layers we're going to put our scraps on, and we're going to texture that as well. So I think my shaving cream, hair mousse works. Aha, that's interesting. Well done, Anne. I've never thought of trying hair mousse. I do have a white foam mousse. I think the idea of the shaving foam is that it's just cheap as chips. You get the value cheapest one you can get in the supermarket. So yeah, I'll put a post up about that, Jeanette, when we come off air. So I'm just going to get the machine and just the plates to texturise this. We'll get some leaves if we can. You can admire my Christmas trees in the background if you can see them on the screen there. I think these have got themselves out of order. No. I used to have the new ones at the top. They have definitely gone out of sync. Right, we'll have that one. And we'll have the machine. And we have the other cat coming in as well. So Tiggs has come to see you. So they're the snowflakes that I was using today for a couple of classes at the weekend. So this one is going to be the exposed brick. So if we're going to put this one horizontal, it's going to work better on here. So we have the bricks going across rather than top to bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that. Hi Pam, nice to see you. I see the comments. I don't see the photos, do I? So where's the other top piece of them? That's there and that's there. Can't pick it up, look. So there we go. Now I'm going to see in a minute when I get started, I get in full swing, I'm going to pop a photo up on here that's a bit appropriate today that you might like to see. So that's 2 pieces of textured embossed with the exposed brick. This marker on here used to say to put it in this way, the arrow, to put this into the machine first. Okay, but this, as it runs through, the black ink from the Sharpie comes off onto the plate and then it goes onto the card the next time through. So they need to be cleaned and, yeah, maybe put a Dymo label on there instead. So this is my card and that's the layer that's going to go on it. We can actually get that one stuck down. I posted my glue through here and now it's just fallen over, excuse me. There. Oh, I feel a bit disjointed today. It's a lot easier when I know what I'm going to do ahead. So there's something appropriate on for Sunday, something that's happening on Monday. And I think you'll like it. I'm sure you will. But it's good to be knowing what I'm doing ahead because it's appropriate. So get those 2 down. So we're trusting we're going to be able to get 2 cards done. So I'm working to that theme. I have my little baby cutter as well. A little baby cutter because I'm going to cut some lengths off and I'm going to put them on there. This will work best with all the autumn colours of strips. So we're going to have different colour strips, but we want them to be the note card here. I've got everything in the way, look. I have to zoom in a little bit. Can you see everything there? I've got reflections of the lights, haven't I? I want this to be less than 3.5 inches, which is the depth of the note cards. Okay, so these pieces, this is ideal for using short pieces like this. We do need to make sure that they're a little bit shorter than what we want. So say 3.25. We can have different widths on these as well. Okay, this is a scrappy strip sort of basis. So I'm just going to put some bits on here and just try and get some colours going through. But it's a good chance to use up all those little pieces like this. You can just, unusual lengths like so. You need to have the straight, well, you don't have to have straight ends actually, because I'm going to wonk them. There we go. As long as they're straight with each other, straight parallel this way. So bring that back and keep it nice and even. Okay, we can have a couple of those on that one. I'm just going to stack these out of the way because I'll save a bit of time. So I put the lids underneath, and then these little strips here are perfect. So about 3.25. We're going to do them freehand and slant them. Okay, a couple of those. What else have we got? There's another one in there. That will be just as it is probably. This little one can come. I was talking to somebody about scraps the other day. I think it might have been about the ribbons. and how many things we can actually recycle and do, which is much better for the environment. And then we've got some cherry cobbler here. Cherry cobbler is one of my favourites. I have so many scraps. It's bulging out of the box, so I put an elastic band on. Now this is what the cat goes for. Tiggs is absolutely obsessed with elastic bands, bless him. So we find them around the house. I worry about the little ones so he doesn't choke on them, but these big fat ones he just chucks in the air and plays with them, chases it round. But, I think he must have gone out. Okay, so these should all start sort of like looking like nice autumnal colours. So many pieces in here that I think some of these are actually the right length. Look. Shorter pieces that I've cut off when I've done projects, and you end up just cutting them end pieces off like that. You get them all the same size, so just trying to do a couple of each one. Okay, they could go in the bin, they're too small, and can go back in the pot. And what have we got? Some Cajun craze could go in there as well. That could go in. Tiny pieces. One can go. You can see why I use my scraps, because they're easily accessible. It's when they're just squashed away somewhere you don't get to use them because you can't see them. So doing these, starting off at 3 1/4 for the card size depth. And then what else have we got? A bit of pumpkin. So wait to the end to see what photo I'm going to get up. I'll try and remember before I finish. It's very appropriate for me at the moment. There we go. And what other colour are we missing? We've got a brown here as well. It might be a little bit dark. I didn't put any greens in there because this time of the year, if you look outside at the moment, we've got a lot of trees around us and they are all shedding really badly. David keeps going around with the leaf blower, and we managed to fill the bin up so that the garden waste bin, so I don't have any space to put anything else in it because we're just filling it with leaves and still got more that need to go in. So let's just concentrate on one at the moment. We might need to just tweak this as we go. So I'm just going to put some background pieces on here, and we're going to have sentiment on here, and I'm going to put some of the leaves on, I think. We might put one of these on the little characters on, if the time allows. Okay, so I'm just going to trim some of these edges. I want to have them a bit disjointed. Now, it might be quicker for me to trim and stick. Okay, it depends whichever way we want to put them. So I'm going to just go down and stick them as we go. So I haven't done scrappy strips lately, I don't think. Apologies if I have. So I'm using the card on the board here, on the mat or the grid paper. So I've got a straight line down here. I can aim for this line and that line. So I know they're going to start off as a straight line. Okay, we don't have to have them all the same length. So as I'm trimming these now, I can shorten some and have them going the opposite direction. I do like my tweezers. I just keep my fingers out of the way, and I'm going to leave a little gap, and I'm going to stagger them a little bit like so. Okay, just keep doing different pieces. You can have some wider ones, some narrow ones, entirely up to you. Just play with it like so. A bit might be better that facing that way. It's too much the same, so I'm going to just shorten that one a little bit and turn that over. I still have my Stampin' Blends out from the last class we did, last YouTube live we did, so I can use those as well to colour in those images if we get that far. And just have a little bit off there, off there. Test your size, it's going to be okay. Turn it over. There we go. Hi Shaz, nice to see you. I haven't done my registration today for March event. We've got a demonstrator event in the spring, and it's gone live today, but I've been busy today and I haven't got to it, so I'm going to do it before I go to bed. Like that on that side. You know the feeling. He sucks them up with the marrow. Yeah, that's a good idea. But we've got a really large area of compost heap now. Don't know if I said in the summer, we had somebody build, I was collecting pallets because I like to recycle, as you know, and I was recycling. I wanted to do pallets. So one of my friend's husband, he has deliveries, and he was saving the pallets for me. So I think he said 9, but then he put some front ones on as well. If anyone's interested, then you can, these are all going the same way now, look, because I'm talking, I'm not concentrating. I was going to stagger them the other way, so let's go some this way. Slightly that way, there we go. Yeah, so we've done it with the compost, but because we haven't got the grass clippings, it was too late to capture the grass clippings. So it'll be next year. It'll starting to build up, I expect. I'll have some thinner ones now because we've got a lot of fat ones there. A couple of those. Now you might have heard me say, remember me saying this before. If you're at a loss as to what to craft at all, this is a great one to do. Just make up your layers and get to a card. So you've got a base layer, you've got some decoration on there, and then you're ready to go, depending on whatever the piece or information, whatever you want to send out. So if you wanted some cards like this, you could have those all filled out when you've got some scraps starting to build up. If you do it there and then, I've said this with the ribbon, if you do it there and then, you're going to end up with clearing them as you go, which is probably a better idea. That's not ready yet. We need another yellow in this end, I think. That way and that way. So different widths, different sizes, up and down. Really doesn't matter where you go. A friend like that, what to do the pallets? Yeah, we pay a gardener, but he's a handyman as well. He does all sorts. So yeah, he knew what I wanted, and we've got it built now. So we're going to be able to start building that up. So I'm going to amalgamate these two into one. Those other pieces I'll do some more later for the other one. Have a short one in there. We can do that. And if you haven't got the right width pieces to finish off right at the ends here, you just cut a piece that's the right size that you want. This one's got to go the other way. No, it can't. I'm just going to trim it again. They're going the wrong way. I've got everything going the same direction. Go that way. Making some nice confetti here, aren't I? Now, we have two ways of doing this. I've stuck these layers down. I've textured the background so that you are seeing this behind, so you see the colours up front. What you could do is get all these strips down onto a plain piece of card and then put the whole panel through, before you stick it down, put the whole panel through the embossing plate, and then you'll get texture over all these layers as well. It's like a quilted effect. Okay, but there's so many possibilities. That's got one that end, so I'm going to have a skinny one of these this end. So that will just fit in there nicely. Minimal off that, so I'll just take the very, very tips off that way. And the same that way. Just get the angle right. So that's going to come in on there. Oh, and I've got low battery on that one. Both the batteries are, you know what's happened. That one's not switched on. Just close that one down. That should start going through again now. It's that one. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, the composts are really good, really handy. You can come around and have a look when you can get over here, Jeanette. They're right down the bottom of the garden. We've got a three panel, so it's the width of a palette, and we've got 3 bays. So that's going to be good for next year. There we go, we can get that one in. In fact, if I've got one a little bit wider, I think that one will look better because it's going to fit to the edge. So I'm just going to trim that very slightly. Pop those 2 out of the way. I'll do another one. Just angle that a little bit more because this one's slanting a bit. So pop that one in there. If we turn it over the other way, then it slants the other way. So they aren't all going the same way. So there we go. There we go. How autumn does that look? Does that look good? I'm going to zoom you in because you've got too much background there. You can see all the muck around the edges. Okay, that card will just wait. I'll do that one later or tomorrow. So there's the start of our autumn. Okay, these little tiny pieces like confetti will go in the bin. And then we'll go for the next piece, what we're going to do. We're going to use a greeting. Now, what sort of greeting would look nice for autumn colours? We've got Oh Happy Day. We've got the general ones on here. These ones are always nice. Sending hugs is always good. So let's have a look at that one. I think it's that one. I've got a block here. So we're going to have that onto a little panel. This one's green, but we didn't use green in our card. But that one would have gone, wouldn't it? So we've got all the ink colours out here, so that's not a problem. Scissors can go back in there. Ba-da-bum-bum-bum. Yes. I'm thinking we haven't used the red. I'm going to bring the red through, I think, on there, because I think that's going to look nice coming through the middle. And basic white. Oh, that's the liners, it's not scraps. Be fine. I'll take a piece out of here. These are the packs that I've been cutting recently, and I've been cutting all these lengths, and so these are really destined to go in my scrapbook. So take one of those. I'm going to stamp it first, put that out of the way, and we're going to stamp this one. So we open the ink pad by using it like a compact, just push it up, and then we're going to stamp this. Whoops a daisy, I've got that on my thumb already. They are lovely colours, aren't they? They are very autumnal. If you want them, Jeanette, then drop me a line or message me or phone me, because I have a source. Like I say, they get through several, so they're always pleased to get rid of them. But then they have people queuing up for them, like I was, because I took quite a few when every time they had one, I went round to collect it. So just bear that in mind. But I will see whether they can spare you some, because they're close by as well. They're in Hingham, so we'll see what we can do for you. So I'm just lining this up on here. I'm going to cut this one closer at the bottom, and then I'm going to cut it on the top as well. I'm going to make this into like a bit of a banner. I was looking at some treat boxes. I was looking and thinking, what could I do as a wrapper, chocolate wrapper? But then I thought the autumn colours would lend itself more to doing something with a card. So I'll do this for today. I will leave the chocolates on the table ready to show you those on another day. Now here, this is a straight panel here. I'm going to flag in on the ends. We might want to have those shorter actually. We don't want too much white. I try to get the same balance each end. Now for flagging, you need paper snips. Our paper snips are so sharp, they're really, really good. You need a pencil, if this one's sharp. Now, I snip into here automatically, but if you're a bit cautious as to doing this first time, I line this up along a straight line again and look to see what the gap is here. So I've got 1 centimetre, 2 centimetres, and kind of like, yeah, 2.5. So if you bring that down and put that between the boxes, you can actually see I've got the same sort of top and bottom, so you can go in the middle of these 2 boxes here. So I would say, right, I'm going to come in there, so just a little tiny flag, and I'll do the same this end. So by putting a pencil dot, you've kind of taken the guesswork away from it. So when I normally do it myself, I would just snip in here, but you've got a pencil dot there now, so you've got something to work to. And then if I'll put my glasses down because I can't see from the corner. So from the corner point into that middle, okay, and you're going to make sure that those scissors snip at the end. I've got snizzers in there today, so go from there into the middle, okay, and that makes sure it snips on right to the top. Okay, so snip that piece right to there, in from the corner up on that slanted angle, and then the same this end. Okay, and there we go. Now you do have, if you've used a normal pencil, you probably will have a little mark on there, but I just use a rubber just to get those marks out. Okay, but if you're not used to using it blind then and doing it yourself, then that's fine. That's a good way of doing it. So that's going to sit in the middle. Now I want to just sharpen that a little bit. I want to make it pop. We're going to put a colour behind this. So again, I think I'll probably do the cherry. So if I go back to my scraps and just place a piece of this behind and see how it's going to look. So I could put that one on there like so. Is that going to bring all those colours out for us? Or do we want an orangey colour? I like the red because it goes with the ink, so I think I'm going to go with that one. So I want to take a little bit more off these edges. So I want this to be a little bit narrow. It's just eyeballing, so you're going to just guess at it, keeping this panel straight along wherever you choose aim for. So then I've got a smaller top and bottom on there. So that's better, much better. So what I'm going to do is stick this down. So tweezers, I've buried. Take my tweezers and just pop that over the back. Our Tombow is so good. It's the PVA, but it's not a. It's a good PVA. It's not a high water content in it. So it's a really good one. Okay. So now I'm going to snip this just exactly the same. I'm going to snip that parallel to the other one. So you've got the same size border around the outsides. So we're going to come in from here. Okay, going to come into the centre there, and then we're going to come in from the centre here. There we go. I've got a nice little border, and then the same this end. Into the centre, following exactly the same line. I don't know why I'm better cutting one side than the other. There we go. So we've got a nice little border around there. If anything, the top of that is slightly deeper. So maybe and me will probably just shave a tiny piece off there. Now, when I can't get hold of anything because it's under here and I can't keep it still, you know our trusted friends we have here, the Post-it notes come out again. It's a good reminder that you can use your sticky Post-it notes as your extra pair of hands. I'll put this onto the sticky end. I want to snip this piece down a bit. So this is my extra hand. So when it's under here and I can't hold it, the Post-it note with the sticky side upwards is your extra hand. So it's going to give you that extra piece just to hold it with. Okay, and then I've just taken that little tiny piece off the top there. Okay. So if you don't have those in your toolkit, you really do need Post-it notes in there. So that is in there. Yes, I do, Shaz. I have got 2 members going this time. I'm not sure on the exact numbers though now, so I'll chat to you offline on that one. Are you looking for? You've got an odd number of people and you want to share rooms probably, so we can chat about that. I'm around all day tomorrow if you want to message me or FaceTime. So I'm placing this in the middle. All I've done is put the 3 dimensionals on the back there. And just going to place that roughly in the centre. Again, lining it up on my board so that I know I've got it in the middle. Well, before I put that down, because I've done it this way, you don't have to have it that way. You could actually use it this way on, okay, with a greeting in the middle there. It depends on how you like the look of it, but I just didn't want you to think it has to be done one direction. There you go, so that one's down, those out of the way. So there's the basis. Now we've got some leaves here. We're going to stamp some of these leaves. I'm going to leave the little critters. We won't do those ones today. So I think some of these would be good because we've got the punch that matches. You're not going this time. Oh, that's a shame. Can't catch up. So which leaf do I like on here? I like this one because it's got the little veins on it, and this is the solid one that sits over the top of it. So we could try that one. We're only going to have the one leaf, and then the solid one is this one. Peel those off. So with this one here, I'm going to stamp this one, and then this one actually goes over the top of it, so you can just about see that one through. So I'll put this on the other end and I turn it over like so. Another piece of card. These will work on one of those strips, which is jolly handy. So we want a colour to go with those. Leaves tend to have to be, yeah, I'd normally go for green leaves, wouldn't I? But we could do an autumnal colours. So, oh, I've got a bit of a technique I can show you if I found where I've put my sponge daubers down under here. So sponge daubers, I've got a lovely little case here I got off Amazon, and the sponge daubers are all lined up inside there, and I have been labelling all of them with my Dymo printer so that I know what shades, because some of them just don't look like they're proper shades when they come out of the pot. So I'm going to put them to one side. We've got cherry cobblers there, that's a good one, so we'll use that one. We've got some, I don't want lemon lolly, it's quite a pale one. Crushed curry, we've got, that over there. Got some browns. We've got pecan pie. See, that looks nearly purple, doesn't it? That's pecan pie. That's cherry cobbler on there. And what else have we got? We've got an early espresso. There we go. We've got those 3 colours. So let's use those 3 and see what we can make with those. Okay. So I'm going to do the leaves here in the espresso on its own. Hope you're keeping up. Okay. So this is experimenting, this is. So just with the early espresso, that's a nice dark brown. Okay. That's that one. Then I'm going to line this one up and just see that that's going to actually sit over the top of that. So what I'm going to do on this one, I'm going to start with the lightest first. We've got espresso there, we've got red there, and we've got pecan pie here. So if I use the sponge dauber and daub over some of it, okay, we're going to do a mottled effect. Okay, so there's a little bit of that one. Okay, cherry cobbler, put a little bit of tinge of red in there. And try not to contaminate them, so I tend to go around the edges where the ink hasn't gone yet. Just tapping that over there, and then we'll finish off with a little bit of the cherry cobbler. Now when these have been dry, they won't be obviously as fluid. You have to wait the inks up sometime, but because we're going over the top, we're using the darkest colour first. You can just tap where you want those to be. So I think we've got enough on there. So now I've got a mottled effect in here. I don't know if you can see that on the, put that underneath. You can see there's different shades coming through there. And I'm going to line this up over the top. And I've tried to come to some browns and reds and yellowy, browny colours. So I'm going to stamp that on there. And then you can see how it looks. Now, doesn't that look autumnal? Can you see that on there? Okay, it's shaded. It's kind of like mottled effect, isn't it? So I'm going to grab the punch. And you know that our punches we use upside down. So we're going to line this up in here. And we're going to line up. I'd normally go top and bottom. And then when we're happy, I'm just going to squeeze that shut. There we go. And punch that one out. So there is one lovely coloured leaf. So I hope you like that texture. Cut that one off because we're going to come in that way from the punch again. And we're going to do it all over again. So we'll go with the espresso for the outline. Okay, because I don't want to contaminate those inks, I am actually going to remove that ink on there. I did use my last of my wet wipes today, so this is going to be interesting. I'll just take off as much as I can with a paper towel. And then I have chamois somewhere. And our chamois we have here that are the cleaners. And these are wet already, so just take the rest of that off. It's a good habit to get into by taking the excess off first onto a piece of paper towel, because then that saves these getting so dirty. That's what they're for, I know, but you have to wash them more often. Okay, so I'm coming on with pecan pie again, just over the same places as I did before. You can see, because it's a strong colour, you can see where the red, the cherry, is staining the stamp, but that's still okay. And no two will be the same, because you are spreading those inks out a little bit. And then we're going to take a little bit of early espresso, and we're just going to touch on some of the areas, just randomly. Okay, so now we're going to turn it over and line it up again. Try to keep my head out of the way, sorry. There we go. There we go. It's a little bit darker on that one, but we've got those variegated as well. Okay. Great technique. I love it for leaves, just mottled effect. But if you wanted in the summer, if you wanted green leaves and you don't want one shade, you can mix your greens up as well. So don't be afraid to play. Lining those up, and then I'm going to squeeze that, and then I've got two branches. I think that's going to be enough on there for now. Just going to move these out of the way and do these up so they don't dry out. So for a potluck, it's not bad, is it? And we've still got a technique in there as well. So these ones are going to just be the leaves that come round. Now we can either put them over the top or the bottom. We can tuck them down there like so. Have one over the top, one underneath. And I quite like that actually. Yeah, I think I might put this one down flat. I'm going to try and see if I've got any dimensional, the little ones over there within reach. Oh, gotta use some of this. So this is my scraps of red glimmer. Now we've had glimmer in the past, and it comes round again, and we've got a nice, really nice real red, and we've got the two greens in there, a granny apple green and garden green, I think it is. So I keep all the spare little tiny snippets like this. I keep in an empty stamp case. So we sell these in packs of 4. One of my ladies has just messaged me today to order some. So these boxes, I keep all of my glimmers in there, a glitter, glimmer, whatever, and they all get stored. So when I want to come and put a little bit of foliage in there like this, I'm actually going to use the smaller one of those two flowers, this one here, and I'm going to use that just to punch out in a corner. There. If I punch out a couple of those, I can make it economically. There we go. So I say these are available. They're on, I think they're in the mini catalogue, the Christmas mini catalogue. So because it's autumn, you do get some sparkly bits in there. So I'm just going to tuck those down in between that. I'm going to get these down first. I like these ones, but on the top end, I want this to be a little mini dimensional or a strip from one of these end pieces. So we use all our itty bits on here. So that's just going to go on that top leaf. Remove that. Take that away. And then the rest of this is going to just have tombow, so it's all going to be flat. Because the stalk is being tucked down behind, you can nip a bit off that as well, so that it doesn't get caught up on your dimensionals, your Stampin' dimensionals. Just put a little dot on each of those and a little bit on the bottom of the stem. And I'm going to tuck this down from the back, down like so. Okay, we want to enjoy those leaves, so don't tuck too many away. And then this one, I think I'm going to come over underneath so the stem comes out, and this one's going to sit flat on there. So we'll put a little bit of dimensional on the top here. Same again. Take that piece off. And then we'll hold that ready, and we're going to put some tombow, just a little dot on each of those leaves. Don't need loads. It's one of the hardest things to teach people is to use our glue very, very sparingly. So I'm going to come underneath there, and I want him poking out the end, and then this one will rest on there. Okay, so he's raised, one raised, the stem coming underneath, and then this one just over the top. It takes some of the shape away, it just gives it a little bit of dimension. And this, you could just, is that going to work? Yes, it will. Just a little tiny splash of red glitter in there. So again, just dots on the end, dot, 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 and a little bit on the stem. And that's just going to tuck underneath there. So it's not too obvious, it's just a little angle there. And then this one can do the same that side. Tiny little drop on each of those and on the stem. Okay, so turn this again because it's easier to, because I'm right-handed, it's easier to get to. And I like to stagger them so they're touching other leaves, they're not hiding the other leaf completely, they're just going in the little gaps. But I really like that, it's really sweet. Now the gems are here. And because of the colours I've used on here, I'm going to grab my reds over here. Dark cherry cobbler, just the one I wanted. So I'm going to colour some of these clear gems. I tend to use these gems more than anything because you can colour them all with your Stampin' Blends. So I want some small ones. It's a note card, so I'm just going to go on there. This one's got a really fluffy end, hasn't it? I remember this from the other night. It's not going to work. So if I do with this one, I can go over the top of it like so. Although it's a small card, I'm going to do 5 on here, odd numbers. There we go. And then we've got our tweezers to lift those off. Because they're alcohol, they dry really quickly. Okay, so we can put these onto the lighter colours of card. Put one in there. And one on the orange. No, we've got glitter there. One on the brown. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll put one on the end there. And there we go. So put these away. I like to trim this off as it goes smaller so it doesn't get in the way. Get it done up again. And there is our beautiful little card. Now I'm really pleased with that, considering it was a wing it and we didn't know what we were doing to start with. That's ended up being quite nice for a autumn coloured card with scraps. Okay, so I've got enough there cut to do another one. I might need another few strips just to bring out, but like I say, I'll make those up tomorrow. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one for now, and I do just want to, if I can just, I'll leave you looking at that for the second down here. I'm just going to try and bring up a photo because it's a special day. Library, come and find my photos. just loading them up. I don't know why it's taking so long. Oh, don't play up. I didn't ask for that one, did I? I'll bring this one up. There we go. And done. So this one now should be in my bank. And I don't think it is. Oh, that's not very good. Yes, it is. There we go. So I can bring this one up. Got to take my, sorry, I've got to take the camera off there. So that one. Ah, there we go. So today, just because some of you know that I've got back into my music, today is actually National Saxophone Day. So it's all about the saxophones and when they were invented and everything, but all the national days, awareness days for this, awareness days for the other. Today is National Saxophone Day. So I have recently gone back to my music and I'm really pleased that I've just been enjoying it so much. It's brought it all back as to why I, you know, how much I miss it. So it's National Saxophone Day, and it was very good timing this week because I have been out in the garage and we've got our first rehearsal for a saxophone quartet here in the studio, just where they're positioned behind me. So I have been practicing getting myself back practiced up and my lip in, so that we'll be playing some quartets next Friday night. So really looking forward to it, and we've all been sorting it out just the last couple of days. So that is for National Saxophone Day. So that's the first one. Then I'll bring you back to me. The cards there, there's me. Gonna bring you at the beginning there. Yesterday Stampin Up announced all their year-end figures, and I was number 11 in the country in one category and number 15 in the category, the sales category, and the other one was the leadership, I think. But there's different categories, and I was number 11 in the UK in one, number 15 in the country in the other. So I was really, really pleased to have those results be on the boards of figures and names up there. So thanks for the congratulations, Karen, and yeah, thanks to all my customers and my team and everybody who what is somehow, Linda, your comment has come on the bottom of the... I don't know what's happened. I'll take the star off, but I can't get rid of it. Never mind. Linda's saying very pretty. So I will look above Linda's message on there. I don't know how that happened. But anyway, thanks for watching me. Thanks for the congratulations, and I will see you again on Sunday. And like I say, I've got a special one on Sunday because on Monday it is another awareness day that is very appropriate to me making a particular item. So that's the clue that I'm going to give you. Okay, so looking forward to Sunday, 8 o'clock, just the hour earlier than today, and I will see you all then. So take